when it comes to manifesting your dream life, you gotta be cautious of what you think. The story that you tell in your head will most likely dictate the way you live your life. And by default, we all don't have a choice on what family we're born to, what environment we're gonna grow up in. That is out of our control. So during that time frame of life, we are constantly being persuaded of a way of thinking, and we adopt that ideology and make it the way we see life and how we approach life. And sometimes those certain ideologies, those certain beliefs, is what's preventing us, what's limiting us from reaching our ideal reality. And majority of us are not aware of it. And that is up to us if you want to unlock your full potential and reach a higher level. You're going to have to change the way you think on certain things. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. And our mind is a very powerful tool, a very, very powerful tool. It has the capabilities of manifesting, creating, and it all starts with the mind. And there's a lot of hindrance with our paradigm and our self beliefs. And it is up to us to be aware of what we think. For example, like my views, my ideology on finance and money was a lot different over a decade ago. I believed that I had to go to school, get a degree, work a job, build my credit. You know, the whole shebang of the Western culture. That's what I thought and the only option I had a formula for success. And then it wasn't until I met a certain individual. Sorry about the plane. It wasn't until I met a certain individual who challenged my way of thinking when it came to finance. I'm gonna repeat it again because of the helicopter here, and that's out of my control. I could cut it out the video, but I'm gonna keep this raw. So it wasn't until I met a certain individual that changed my perspectives and my ideology on money. His name was Mike, and he told me to read a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And when I read that book, I started becoming more curious. I started vibrating in that frequency of abundance and innovation. And so my feed on my media kept feeding me new ways of thinking and other people like Bob Proctor. And that's where I got introduced to passive income streams, multiple sources of income, compound effect of investing, and residual income, and making your money work for you, making money while you sleep. And I always thought you had to be really smart. You don't have to be smart. You just got to be disciplined and consistent. And there's a lot of people who aren't that smart who are doing it and making a lot more money than people who are very intelligent and working a 9 to 5. But anyways, back to the point. When I met this individual, he introduced me to a new way of thinking. My life is drastically way different than compared to now, compared to 10 years ago. Drastically different. I am making money in the most empowering way, possible way that I am capable of, that I'm aware of at the moment compared to back then. Back then, I was earning income with active income. So active income is where you trade your time for money. Essentially, that's a 9 to 5, right? You work 40 hours a week, so then you get paid either salary or per hour. Yeah. So the company's buying 1 hour of your time. Let's say you get paid $20 an hour, and the company is buying $20 of your hour in exchange of your work, working for them. Active income, on the other hand, is more so you're creating a system, and once you establish that system, it makes money passively, like, to a point where you don't have to physically be there all the time. You don't have to pay attention to it all the time. And ideally, it's working throughout the whole day, 24/7, while you're doing whatever. So it's making you money passively. And with that, it's awesome because once you have one system down and that starts establishing itself, you still have more time to create another one. And then you work on that, water the seed on that, and then it grows and sprouts, and that becomes established eventually. And then rinse and repeat. You keep doing that to a point where you have 3 sources of income, 4 sources of income, 5, 10. You get to a point where you don't even have to work at all, and you got so much time on your hands to live life how you want to live life. Like Dan Lok. Dan Lok calls it FU money. Because you can say FU to your boss, you can say FU to your customers. If they don't like it, all you do is say next. It's so for me, it's not necessarily being rich. I used to have that when I was younger. I wanted to be rich and make so much money. But like I said, listening to other people's perspectives, you adopt new ways of thinking. Bob Proctor put it in an awesome way. Most people don't want to be rich, they just want to be free of financial concerns, to where they have the freedom to do whatever they want. For most people, it's usually like hanging out with family or just doing something fun, beach, or even a vocation where you're in a mission helping people. That life is possible. That life is within majority of people's reach. It is just, it starts with the way of thinking, their ideologies. And unfortunately, some people are handicapped by their way of thinking. So the story you tell yourself, the self-talk you give yourself, and it's not just about money, this is about anything you want to achieve in life, any aspect, any pillar of life, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, family, emotional, relational, anything. You can apply this to anything. If you change your thoughts on anything, that specific topic changes. Like let's use like an individual. Let me give you a simple example. This woman right here, she's 23, right? Some people will be disrespectful and call her a hoe, a whore, right? But another person, to them, in their perspective, that's a sister. Another will see that as a mother. Another one will see it as a beautiful woman. Another person will think, oh, that's an ugly person. There's so many ways you can, and you utilize your willpower, your thought, to give whatever that meaning. You have the power to give anything meaning in this life. And with that God-given power, that free will to choose to give anything meaning, use that to your advantage to where you manifest your ideal life. So now that I elaborated on that, what are the steps? First, you got to be aware of how you think, and you got to trace it to where it potentially might have started. Then you let it go. Let it go. See it, reframe it to a learning lesson, and then replace it with something more empowering belief, empowering thought, right? Let's say back then you used to be bullied, like, oh, you don't amount to nothing. You're too skinny, you ain't nothing. And you grew up believing that your whole life. Now you can change it to where, oh, I'm gonna hit the gym. You are tough. You're a warrior. And yeah, I might be small now, but I'm gonna optimize and grow. See, two different clashing thoughts. One is more empowering and one is more disempowering. One will help you push you forward to a more higher potential version of yourself. And that's how you got to approach it with everything. So another step is visualization. You got to visualize that ideal life in your head, right? Everything is created twice, right? First is created in your mind. You're imagining it. And then you repeat that creation by bringing it into reality in front of you. You got to visualize it, and then you write it down as a goal, and then you go to work to take the necessary actions to bring that into reality. So next step is actions. Take actions. You're going to make mistakes, but that's where you collect data and see where you got to optimize and improve and continuously head towards that goal. Actions. And then, so first is awareness, self-reflect. Second, visualization. Third, take action. And fourth is, hey Coco, sorry, it's my dog. And fourth, what is fourth? Fourth is you got to reaffirm your new beliefs, your new set of beliefs. And then you go to work, rinse and repeat. You view your goals every day. That's how you're going to change your life. It's not going to happen overnight, but that is the necessary steps. If you absolutely truly want something, God will make it happen for you. You don't necessarily need to know the exact blueprint and all the answers now, but if you absolutely truly want something, you got to take the actions, you got to do these steps, and along the way you will get the resources. The right individuals will be in your life, and you'll be at the right place at the right time. Just give it time. And that's how you will manifest and create your dream life. But if you resonate with this, leave a comment. Hope y'all are crushing your goals. And I will see y'all on another video.